So I just made a X profile. If you guys want to follow, go ahead and check it out. It's soloblock.io. I feel like this may be a better place to send you guys updates or restock alerts. I don't want to bother you guys too much on your emails and text messages. Oh, and the giveaway is ending this Sunday for a Bitcoin node, a BitAxe 403, and a BitAxe GT800. If you guys do want to enter, all you have to do is make a purchase on anything on the website and follow the YouTube channel. And yep, I'm picking the winner this Sunday. So good luck to everybody, and let's get started with the video. All right, so today we got in the NerdQaxe 4.8 Hydro. So this device here is on the website for $349. It has an AIO, all-in-one unit, liquid cooling. This block here essentially passes a coolant over the top of the ASIC chips, transferring the heat, looping it back into the radiator. The radiator cools it down by the passing air, which this fan here blows air through that radiator. Then it loops back in and does the whole process again. So this is 4.8 terahashes. I'm sure some of you are wondering about the overclock capabilities. But you know, this obviously does have a barrel connector, so it's limited on the amperage. The Rev 6.1 hydros have XT30, so they can handle a little bit more amperage up there. One thing I noticed about these, which is pretty cool, is that the fan here that is blowing air through this radiator, it also creates a good amount of airflow back here, and it cools down the chips in the back pretty good. And so these devices also do come with heat sinks pre-installed. Same thing with a lot of my other devices. So that's going to save you guys a little bit of time and money not having to buy heat sinks. And yep, so this one seems to be coming with a OEM LilyGo screen, or an OEM unit, essentially meaning this is a like direct, you know, not a direct consumer screen. Essentially, like they will give it to a factory and then, you know, without the branding, but it still has an OLED screen, same brightness. Everything here also does come with warranty. All of my units have warranty. And yeah, has a 3D printed stand. And I'm going to get it powered up for you in a second so we can see the RGB and the water block here. And before we do that real quick, let's go ahead and take a reading of how loud it is here, because we're going to test that as well. Without anything on, obviously. So we're about 30 decibels. So when we turn on the device, we're going to take another reading to see how loud it gets. And we're going to do this for every minor review from now on, so we get a comparison on how loud each one is. All right, we are powered up here. We're starting to ramp up. And yeah, this also has the Snowman unit for the water cooling system. And we can see we are at 3.8 terahashes so far. Once we kind of get warmed up a little bit, we'll go ahead and take another reading from about 3 feet away to see how loud it is. There's the RGB. And what's cool is you can see the RGB through the radiator itself. So this is going to look really cool in a little bit darker of an area. So we're at 4.56 terahashes. We're getting there. And we're going to take another sound reading. Let's get this about 3 feet away. So 54, 55 decibels. So this is the first test I've done in regards to measuring the sound volume. As we review more miners, we'll kind of be able to compare. We have something to compare this against. So yeah, this is the unit here. If you guys want to pre-order, soloblock.io. These are currently listed for sale at $345. I checked, this is already on the latest firmware. One thing I noticed is, well, I mean, I guess I haven't ramped these up in a while or restarted them. I just turned them off now for the first time because, you know, I'm making a video and doing sound tests. But I noticed the Hydro units just ramp up, take a little bit longer to ramp up. As if anybody else experienced that, let me know. Same thing with the Rev 6.1 models. They do eventually get there, it just takes a little bit longer. So let's go ahead and get into the AXE OS and take a look at some details. I lied, I actually forgot. I got something else too. So we're gonna actually look at the temperature of this thing. We're almost at 4.8 terahashes. So let me try to get a clear look at this. Alright, so that crosshair in the middle, that is the temperature reading. So the screen is at 74 degrees Fahrenheit. And you can see where the factory placed the heat sink. It's actually the perfect place to put them because that's where majority of the heat is concentrated at. So we'll point this directly at it, 132 degrees. Heat sinks are 127, 130. The capacitors here are actually nice and cool, relative. Here's the fuse. So this does have a 10 amp fuse. So the fuse running at 128 watts, 29 watts. Watts, what am I saying? Fahrenheit. Now we'll kind of back up and look at the water block. Water block is nice and cool. Let's look at the lines. So the water block is 73. Keep in mind we've only been up and running for about 5 minutes. So 77 for the lines here. And what's pretty cool is you can definitely see that water cooling really works in this device. Wow, actually I haven't looked through this device yet, but as you can see, it's much hotter than the rest of the unit. Let me turn this a little bit. So obviously it's a pretty big water block. Radiator. So we're at, what is it, 80 degrees? 80 degrees there. Let's look at the connector, the barrel connector. 85 degrees, 83, 80. What about the wire itself? 77. Let's turn it this way. Whoops. And now the fan back there, that hotspot you see in the middle is actually the motor of the fan spinning from the magnets inside of the brushless fan, the brushless motor. So let's look at the back. It's going to be kind of hard to see this, but let's see what we can do. 100 degrees, 110 in the back. Oh, we can kind of look in through the side right here. I'm assuming that's probably the voltage regulator chip back there. 108. Let's see if we can see right underneath the water block to where the ASIC chip lives. Kind of, but not really. Which I guess obviously is good, so it's on there good. Let's see if the water block temperature has changed in the front. Oh, actually, let's see the lines coming out right here. 81 degrees. 80 degrees. 78, so as it goes down, it's cooling itself off. So here you can see, so the really bright white and yellow lights, that's where majority of the heat is concentrated. This is why it's pretty important to have heat sinks right here in the front, especially if you have a little bit of airflow going through this with like a little bit of fan in front of your miners. Helps dissipate the heat a lot better. Look back here one more time. Yep, if anybody was wondering if these really work or not, I think they work. Pretty cool. So yeah, just wanted to show you around a little bit, check out the temperatures. But let's get into the Axe OS. All right. And yeah, we're basically there. 4.75 terahashes. Our efficiency is 16.9 joules per terahash. Basically no rejected shares, 0.15%. So it is pulling 80.1 watts for 4.8 terahashes. The input voltage is 12.4 volts. ASIC voltage standard, which is 1.15. ASIC temperature 41.7 degrees Celsius. So this thing is actually staying very cool. Voltage regulator temperature is at 59.1 degrees. The fan is at 2077 RPM running at 100%. So this ASIC temperature is pretty low. You know, you can go up to like 60 degrees. I mean, it varies obviously how far you want to push your chip, but anything below 60 degrees is okay. So if the fan is a little too loud for you, I don't think it's that big of an issue lowering this, or even just setting in automatic mode, which we'll try to see how much the sound changes. So the factory sets it at 600 ASIC frequency. Let's go to the settings here, 600 and 1150 on the core voltage. The fan is currently on manual. Shutdown temperature is at 70 degrees. We are currently on the latest firmware. So it looks like this one did come installed with the latest firmware. If it's not, you can always update it. It's super easy if you guys don't know how. I mean, all you do is you just download the file, upload, flash, and you're done. It's nothing big at all. BM1370 chips. There's 4 of them here. 1.2 terahashes each, which makes it 4.8 terahashes total. And yeah, it looks like everything is running smoothly. $16.9 joules per terahash still. So yeah, it's running stable. Everything looks good. Yep, if you guys have any other questions, feel free to ask. Oh, and one thing, I'll go ahead and read the specs of the power supply. The output voltage of the power supply is 12 volts, 10 amps. So 12 volts, 10 amps is a 120 watt power supply.